You're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good morning, gentlemen. Thank you for being here. General Jacoby, I want to focus on you and your command, if I might, and I want to say a special word of thanks to your tremendous team at NORTHCOM and you yourself. We've had quite a year in 2013 in Colorado. We were hit with the devastating fires and floods. I've long said, come hell or high water, Coloradans are ready, and we saw both and experienced both. And it was terrible. The damage that you saw firsthand, I've seen firsthand, included thousands of Coloradans being forced from their homes, and we lost lives as well. That was beyond tragic. But if it wasn't for your efforts to train dual status commanders and establish procedures for coordination between state and federal civilian agencies working with the active duty and the Guard troops that we're so grateful to have in Colorado, the toll would have been far worse. I know you know that, and everybody in Colorado knows that. I want to give you a couple of examples. I believe we had Army aircraft from Fort Carson in the air within an hour. The first signs of smoke in the Black Forest, followed shortly by Colorado Guard helicopters, and then there were C-130s dropping retardant within a day. Then last fall, the Colorado Guard evacuated thousands of Coloradans from waters that were rising faster than you can possibly imagine. I actually couldn't get home to my own home that Thursday night. And then that Guard effort was able to communicate effectively with all the other agencies that came running to help. I just want to underline again, there are just so many examples, there are countless, of how your commitment to prior planning and coordination between agencies made a critical difference when a unified response was needed the most. You did the hard work in advance. You refined the process based on lessons learned from other response operations. Colorado owes you a great debt, General Jacoby. The soldiers and sailors, airmen, Marines, Coast Guardsmen, and civilians, both American and Canadian, who serve with you have my deep and lasting thanks for continuing to stand watch over all of us. So I really want to get that on the record. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator.
Can you now, in that context, describe, and you alluded to this just earlier, NORTHCOM's efforts to prepare for this year's fire season? Are there any gaps in response capacity, and what needs to be done on the state and local level to prepare for what likely will be another bad year for wildfires?
Senator, we felt really good about being up in the air in an hour, but if you lost your home in that hour, that's not fast enough. And so we got to continue to refine the process. I did mention to Senator Reed's question that I believe NIFC, the National Interagency Fire Center, deserves huge credit for the great work that they're doing. They could use more money so that they can fearlessly ask for help. But what we've done is we've strengthened our relationship. They understand better the capabilities that can be brought to bear across the whole of government, and we've developed important relationships with incident commanders. We're going to provide liaison teams to incident commanders to be more effective, to be quicker in responding. And the old-fashioned, 5,000 infantrymen with shovels and boots, we're going to add to that with bulldozers, UAVs with infrared sensors and other capabilities to make that, whenever needed, at the disposal of our partners who really do the lead work in firefighting. So we continue to make advancement. It's all about not being late to need. And it's all about being able to identify a requirement and answer the call of our partners as quickly as possible.
Let me ask a specific question.
Sure.
In that context. Do you have concerns about the Air Force's decision to retire a C-130H aircraft when it comes to the domestic firefighting mission?
Senator, the Air Force has got a million tough decisions to make with the budget realities. I know I just found out yesterday about the cut to the 302nd Wing there at Peterson Air Force Base. I will tell you, though, that it's not just the C-130s. The real issue for us in firefighting are the mechanisms that slide into the back of the C-130, and so those we won't lose. And so we will have the same number of firefighting apparatus that fit onto C-130s. To me, the biggest concern would be crews. You know, those are terrific crews. They're fearless men and women that it's as tough flying as any flying. And so
It's a form of combat, isn't it, when you're flying?
it is, and I've
fire.
flown with them, and
Yeah.
it's tough flying. It's close to the ground. It's an intense environment, but I want to make sure that those squadrons aren't disadvantaged by loss of folks that form those crews. So I'll be talking to the Air Force about this one as soon as I get a chance.
Great. I look forward to being your partner in that, and I know all Coloradans, again, are with you in this important mission. Let me turn to the Arctic. We met yesterday. Thank you for taking the time to visit my office. In the time we have left, talk a little bit about what are your greatest challenges and what are our opportunities in the Arctic going forward. You've got about a minute and a half to tell us all there is to know.
Senator, you're already helping me with the most important thing. We're generating some enthusiasm for the opportunities and our responsibilities in the Arctic. And so I've had a lot more questions on it this year as I've moved around the Hill, and I'm grateful for that. This year we had the President's strategy and implementation guidance rollout. We had the Secretary's strategy rolled out, and so we're finding we're pushing on more open doors than we've pushed on before in thinking about the Arctic. And the lack of hard timelines is tough for us, but we think we have an understanding of what the capability gaps are, and I've directed my Joint Task Force commander up in Alaska to begin campaign planning with his partners to ensure that we start identifying capabilities and requirements that will need to translate into programs in the next 7 to 10 years so that when the Arctic really does become a viable approach to the homeland, we have capabilities that we'll need to be effective in the Arctic.
Yeah. Again, I look forward to working with you on that front, and I want to just for the record note that I think the ratification of the Law of the Sea Treaty would be crucial to playing a more active role in the Arctic, and I know there's some in the Senate who don't see it that way, but experts across the spectrum believe we need to ratify that treaty and ratify it quickly. I just want to put my own point of view on the record. But again, thank you, gentlemen, for being here, and look forward again to seeing you under the best of circumstances this year, General Jacoby. No fires, at least in my home state, so thank you.
Senator Udall, Senator Cruz.